Welcome to the Breathe Easy podcast. We're on episode 3 now. This is the podcast where we talk about anything and anything, current events, whatever the hell. And hopefully at the end of this recording, we'll breathe a little bit easier. My name is Jeremy once again, and I am also once again joined by David.
What's
David,
up?
say hi. There we go. I got to stop like cueing you in. I'm pretty sure.
I know.
Yeah.
I know what to say.
Yeah. Well, sometimes there might be a opportunity of dead air, so I gotta cue you in. But maybe I'll stop for the next episode.
Nah, keep going.
But I'll definitely when our guests come in, I gotta be like, say hi, and then they'll be like, oh, okay. So it is Wednesday, what is it, June 11th? I don't know.
13th, bro.
Is it the 13th?
Yeah.
Holy shit! All right. So last podcast we promised that we would bring on a guest.
Tell him about our lie.
Yeah, that was a huge lie. We were going to bring on Billy, our special friend, our certified special friend. And we were supposed to record this last Sunday. And he was like, okay, I'm going out in a bit. I'm going out in like 2 hours though. So, I'll let you know if I can do it. 2 hours go by and he says, oh yeah, I'm still at home. I'm like, what the fuck? Didn't you go out yet? You told me you were gonna go out an hour ago, 2 hours ago. And he's like, yeah, I'm at his place right now. I'm like, wait, so are you at his place right now? He's like, no, I'm headed there. I'm like, what? Mind you, this is over Facebook Messenger, or the messaging app on Facebook. And I know that grammar and actually phrasing yourself is pretty hard to do for someone like him. Okay. But he blew me away with those two statements of actually being at his friend's house, but not actually being there. Okay.
I'm pretty sure he was home the whole time.
Oh,
we played Fortnite just the rest of the night.
Yeah. I don't even think he left his house. So
No.
I told him I was going to go watch a movie. And what I failed to mention was I'm still at my house. I was on Netflix or Hulu. And he says, oh, because he was talking to David on Facebook as well, I believe. And he was like, yeah, Jeremy told me that he was going to watch a movie. And he kind of just left it at that. He didn't inquire about anything. Okay. So I messaged him again. And he's like, yeah, I'm playing Fortnite right now. I'm like, so are you at his house still or what? He's like, no, I'm at home. Oh, so you've been home the entire time? So we said, fuck that podcast. And we played Fortnite for the rest of the night. And let me tell you, he plays on Xbox, which
is his first mistake.
His first mistake, okay, because it's a free fucking game. He can play League of Legends on his Mac, but for some reason, he can't play Fortnite. I don't know why. And he's just fucking ass at the game. Just let it be known, he's just bullshit at the game. So hopefully we will have him within the next few episodes. I hope to God we have him on the next few episodes. But that's just a snippet of what we have to deal with to get him on this podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Well
said.
We may or may not have another guest. I foreshadowed that we're going to talk a lot about cars because we're planning this. Talk a lot about cars, and he told me that he's an off the top of his head kind of guy. So, whatever comes out, I guess. So I best prepare for that.
He's like a redneck in his own way, even though he's Asian.
Yeah, he's an Asian redneck. He found a new love for guns. He loves cars.
He drives a truck.
He drives a truck now. He used to be a certified racer, but now he bought a pickup truck.
Yeah, pickup truck. He had titanium exhausts on his Honda. What brand is your thing?
It's a CRV.
CRV.
Yeah. He put blue rims on it, so that automatically makes it go 5 times faster.
Yeah, that's another 20 horsepower.
20 horsepower.
It adds up.
2 times the torque, makes it more lightweight. But now he's driving a Toyota Tacoma because now he's into guns and stuff. So he's fitting
off-road.
He's fitting the profile.
Hell yeah. Yeah, brother.
So E3 happened. I don't know. I don't think it's still going on, but just know that E3 happened. And I know nothing about E3. I've never watched E3, and I only hear about what gets announced via Facebook or friends who say, "Did you see what it got announced at E3?" I say no, and I just watch the trailer online.
I don't watch E3 like all of it because it's just a waste of time. But I do watch the highlights
There
just to
was
see what's up and coming.
Yeah, so this was my first time just like watching a snippet of E3, and I guess Sony was premiering all their stuff for PlayStation.
Hmm.
And there are some people that come out that are like really cinematic about their presentation. They're really interactive. So so off the top of my head, they announced Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is Assassin's Creed in Spartan times. And then it's just a weird thing that they don't really announce transitions. They just bring out the next company.
Hmm.
So Ubisoft went, and then some weird ass company came out. This middle aged old woman. She's like, she had an accent, and she announced a game called The Crew 2.
The Crew.
The Crew 2, and I have no idea what the fuck this game is about. And
Isn't
she's
that
like,
cars and
yeah,
shit?
yeah. And she's like, you can do helicopters, you can do this and that. And I'm like, has anyone even heard of this game? I didn't even know there was. I didn't even know there was
all
a
the
Crew
people.
1.
Yeah, there is.
They announced some other like samurai bullshit, like For Honor, like a DLC or an expansion pack or whatever the fuck. I've never played For Honor, and I hope I never do because I don't need to waste more time into video games. They released a fucking samurai game. I don't even know how to pronounce Neo 2 or whatever the fuck. It's like a samurai
Mhm.
game. I don't like samurai games or any Asian oriented game other than Dynasty Warriors, but uh they did Spider-Man, right?
Yeah,
Which
from the people who made Resistance.
I didn't
I
play
don't know.
Resistance. Is Resistance the one with the cover art is the guy with a helmet?
Yeah, it's like Sony's Halo, I guess.
This is how much I know about games because I just know the title and that's it. So that Spider-Man game looked pretty good. It's before this podcast, me and Dave were talking about it. It's essentially Batman. Take Batman out and put
Mhm.
Spider-Man in there,
Yep.
and add the sun. That's essentially what that game
And
is.
yeah,
I guess
at the sun.
have
That's
the
right.
sun because God knows Gotham never has any sunlight. And then they announced Kingdom Hearts 2 trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3, which I guess we can talk about this more so than any other game on E3, which kind of blew my mind.
I try not to watch too many trailers because they give so much away.
But for the Kingdom Hearts trailer, I don't know. Maybe this is just me being a loser. I get this, like, I got not goosebumps, but I felt like a sense of like enjoyment of watching that trailer over and over again for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Did you?
I swear to God, I did. I watched that trailer a million times already on my way to work today.
I watched a bunch of their trailers, and it's always the same. They show like the new worlds they're doing, and then they play the new Kingdom Hearts song.
Yeah,
towards the end.
That was for like what, the last 3 trailers.
Yeah.
But there was some new content, like they announced or they put Frozen into Kingdom Hearts 3, which is pretty good, I guess. They're putting all the newer movies in there. It's not like the old stuff anymore. It's all the new stuff, and then Toy Story,
Yeah. Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc., which is, I guess, did they make Monsters Inc. at the time when they made Kingdom Hearts 2?
I think it was out.
Yeah.
But
Just an aside, I think it's weird that they put Pirates of the Caribbean in there in number 2. Just that, I thought that was just weird because Pirates was, I want to say, like a new thing for Disney.
yeah, it was.
And it was the first, like, I guess, live action movie that they've integrated into the game. But for the time, it was really good.
They kind of like recreated the third movie or scenes from the third movie, where Jack's ship is going down the sand and all that.
Yeah, they had that entire scene where he's like in Davy Jones's locker, and Jack is sailing on a ship with a bunch of like sand crabs carrying it to the water.
Yeah.
But the graphics, I was impressed with the graphics when the first Toy Story trailer came out. Like really impressed. And like I didn't mind that I waited 13 years for it. Granted, there have been other games since 2. Like in between the gap of 2 and 3, there have been other games that progress the story.
Yeah, those don't count.
I mean, if you want to know how to play 3 and catch up with the story, you should at least YouTube it. That's what I did. But the graphics were amazing when I saw the trailer with Toy Story. And then they released the new trailer at E3 with Pirates. They're revisiting Pirates again. And fuck, man. The trailer for that, it looked better than it looked just as good as a live action Pirates movie.
I don't know about that, but
it looks like Johnny Depp. It looks like all the cast members. It's not
Yeah.
If you go back to like, Kingdom Hearts 2, I mean, I guess it kind of looks like Johnny Depp, but now more so because of the graphics have progressed intensely.
well, duh. I mean, they skipped the generation.
They actually skipped Pirates 2. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the main bad guy in Kingdom Hearts 2 is Barbossa. Now they completely skipped over Pirates 2 and moved straight on to the third movie, which I guess kind of makes no sense, but whatever.
Did you see the Last of Us 2 gameplay?
I did not. Johnny was actually he messaged me. He's like, "Oh, did you see the Last of Us trailer?" And I'm like, "No, but I did read about it. I read about it at work today on an article saying that well, actually me trying to, bring up content for this episode. I read that there's a still image of what the fuck is the girl's name? Ellie with her girlfriend, and they're like kissing or whatever, and then I read the description that like they kiss and then she starts killing bros. But I didn't see the trailer for it. All right, we're back. We had a quick intermission because David had to do something, and I totally lost my train of thought. So, David, why don't you bring us up to speed?
Last of Us 2.
Yes, Last of Us 2.
Let's say the graphics probably the best. I mean, for like PlayStation hardware is pretty limited, and like Naughty Dog always can make the best of it.
I don't have really an opinion on Last of Us 2 just because I never played Last of Us 1. Still to this day.
I know you don't play single player.
Not anymore.
But when it comes, Naughty Dog makes the best single player. Them and Bethesda, honestly, like no one else can make single player as good as them.
What other titles has Naughty Dog made? I'm sure I'll be familiar with these titles.
Honestly, the only two that really matter is The Last of Us and Uncharted.
Oh yeah, Uncharted. I was actually having a conversation with Johnny when I was on the shitter, shit you not, like an hour ago, and he mentioned something about Uncharted.
I mean, if you like watch the gameplay for that, like the way Ellie moves, it's like so natural and fluid. Like in the gameplay, it looks like a cutscene.
Do they use mocap for these games now?
I think so.
Mocap, for those who don't know, is motion capture, which, if you've seen behind the scenes of Planet of the Apes or whatever, it's when Andy Serkis puts like these he puts
Spanx.
Yeah. They track the motion of anything and they digitize and add it to a character or whatever. So you get the realism, the real movements.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just they're always pushing the bar. They're always making it better.
Now, do we know the plot of Last of Us 2?
I haven't really looked into it, so I'm pretty sure they're keeping that hush hush. Because that's the whole point,
I guess,
of the game.
Yeah, this is true. But also from what I read in the article, Joel is not present with Ellie at the moment.
Yeah, I haven't seen Joel
now
in any of the clips.
Now it's been hinted that Joel is still alive, though, right? I would imagine
he's gotta be.
I would imagine that they wouldn't kill him off because he was just such an integral part of 1, but to have him not be present.
Well, they gotta have him so that when I feel like they might talk about like how what was it? Do you remember how 1 ended where they were finding the cure for the zombie thing?
Yeah, and they have to. So I've read it.
Joel killed everyone.
They have to. The Fireflies have to kill Ellie to extract the cure, but Joel said, "Fuck that. Let me go live with this girl because I love her like a daughter or something like that."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like he has to be around so they can hash that out.
Now, what in one was Joel the main character? Like, did you? I know Joel was the main character, but did you ever play Ellie at
Yeah,
all?
you played Ellie in like the third act.
Now, was it like how do I say it? It was, what's the percentage between Joel and Ellie that you would have as playable?
I'd say like 85, 90% Joel.
Holy shit. So I guess maybe now that now that Joel's missing, you would do the 80 to 90% as Ellie, and then the rest of the game as Joel for that 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I saw from the Last of Us trailer was the one that they released like a year or two ago, when I guess Joel walks into the door and Ellie's holding a gun because she just killed somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Oh,
you're.
God.
I think
Every time.
this is a recurring thing. Okay, that your voice cracks. I think we should keep this a
Yes.
recurring thing.
It's out of my control. I want to get through one episode without it happening.
Last episode, I gave you some slack because your voice cracked.
You
Like,
did.
Yeah.
I'm like, he didn't say anything.
Yes, your voice cracked like 3 times, but I didn't say anything. I just kept talking.
I appreciate
Yes, but I'm sure the audience knows.
They'll know.
I actually got some feedback. They're like, Lamau, David's intro on the first episode, so we should keep that a recurring thing. But I won't say anything. Just we're making a big deal out of this now.
Yeah.
But let's bury this and hope that our guests also, don't jump on that opportunity to crack on you.
I would say that was pretty much it for Sony though, right?
They also released that Norman Reedus game.
Oh yeah.
Hideo
Kojima.
Yeah. Oh my god,
It makes the weirdest shit.
that game, like, it didn't mind fuck me, but first off, the fact that it looks like Norman Reedus and he's voicing him, just I read a comment that says he spoke more in this game than he did in the entire season of the current Walking Dead.
That's hilarious.
But I was just,
I like that. You know how he's supposed to be in Silent Hills, that he just went over to the next Kojima project.
No, I didn't. I didn't hear that.
Well, remember that playable trailer they had?
For Silent Hill?
Yeah, it was gonna be a new Silent Hills game, but it got canceled because Kojima left that company, Konami.
Wasn't this years ago though?
It was years ago.
Oh, wow.
So I'm glad that he went on with a new project.
Yeah, when they released the trailer and it says Kojima, I'm like, oh my god, here we go again. Kojima cranking out the good games. Does he actually make good games?
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear, but the last few were like lacking. But at that time, was Kojima even part of the project?
I think I know he worked all through 4. I don't know about 5.
Because I know the latest one is shit, right?
Metal Gear Solid 5?
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Was that the desert one? Phantom Pain?
Yeah, it was like open world.
Was it
Phantom Pain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game.
Yeah. But going back to the
minus the story, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, go ahead.
Going back to the Norman Reedus, I can't remember the fucking title of the game, but it just looks so good. They kept it a mystery on like what the fuck is happening. I don't know who that woman is in the trailer. And then he just cranks out like a apparatus with a fucking baby fetus. Did you see that?
I saw.
Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? You know, and
it's called Death Stranding. Death Stranding. Shut up. Keep going.
Death Stranding, the new Norman Reedus game. And I guess there's like these images, like I'm gonna say they're just flies, but there's like black things that flow in the air and form images of like monsters and stuff. And like Norman breaks out like this apparatus with like a light that like has like these flappy hand thingies, and there's like a fucking baby just swimming in the womb on this backpack thing.
I can honestly say I watched that and I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, but I think it's that sense of like what the fuck is happening that makes it so good. On top of having,
it makes it interesting.
On top of having, Norman as the main character. Know nothing about the game at all, but because Norman's in it, I kind of want to play it.
I have a feeling that even once you play the game, you won't understand
Probably
like
not.
half of it.
Probably not.
But Kingdom Hearts, real quick. What do you think about the new song?
Real quick, we're just gonna go over Kingdom Hearts for 5 minutes and that's it.
Hell yeah!
What the fuck?
I'm kidding. Fine. We can do it.
Yeah.
We can do it.
So when I
Let's
first
start off with the song then.
is "Don't Think Twice" by Utada Hikaru, who, if you guys don't know, she's made the theme songs for Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2. So she's pretty much integral for our childhood if you've played Kingdom Hearts. So the first two are really like, I want to say upbeat, right? But this one is kind of like, kind of has like a sense of like sadness to it, and it's kind of like a closing to a show or whatever. So when I first heard it, it was like, I don't know how I feel about this, just because it was not what we're used to in terms of, I'm sure she's pumped out tons of songs, but in terms of the two that we know, they were just so different, the latest one. But after like listening to it in the trailers and, once in a while YouTubing it, I think it kind of grew on me. What about you?
I don't like it.
Really? Why?
I listened to it a bunch of times. I just don't like it. I feel like she's trying to hit notes that she can't exactly hit anymore. Like the way her voice quivers. I don't think that's like an artist's choice. I just feel like she can't sing her own song.
Yes.
I don't like the way it swings off beat.
Yeah, as a non-musician, I don't listen to that. I just listen to like the overall tune of it. But I guess since you're a musician, you analyze it differently.
Not even that, but like I don't like the way it just swings. I mean, like you can tell, like the first song is just 1, 2, 3, 4, but like the piano plays offbeat with the tempo. I really listened to it like a couple of times too. This isn't just me. Like first off, I like broke it down. The song's in 3/4. It's just, I don't know. It's not great.
So is it not a 4-chord song? Is that what you're saying?
No, it goes 1, 2, 3, but then the piano plays offbeat. If you like listen to it, it doesn't fall on each like 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, you're kind of having me at a loss here because I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe I have to listen to this song again. I kind of get a hint of what you're talking about. If I can, think in my head about the beat of it.
It's just like bum, but bum instead of like bum. It's hard to. I don't want to like go way too deep into theory right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just really simple. The drums and percussion, it's all computer generated. It doesn't sound particularly interesting.
Do you think it'll grow on you though, or
no? I don't
really.
I can tell when I don't like a song.
So
I feel like a song, like she has to really sing her heart out, which she's struggling to do. And like the music part has to be good for me to like a song.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just basic piano chords. There's nothing that makes me say, wow, this is a great song.
Now, I'm assuming you would place this last in the Kingdom Hearts out of the 3. So what would you rate? So there's Simple and Clean, which everyone knows what Simple and Clean is. There's Sanctuary for number 2. Now there's Don't Think Twice. So we already know you're number 3. So what's your 1 and 2?
Simple and Clean's 1.
Yeah.
I mean, the actual part where the slow one where it's like playing acoustic guitar, that one's pretty good. But the upbeat version, you know what I'm talking about?
What is that? Is it the Planet B remix? Is that what it's called?
I don't know what it's called. There's like the one where it plays during the opening.
Yeah, that one. I think that's
that one.
Planet. I don't want to fucking. I don't need anyone saying you're a fucking idiot, but I'm gonna hope it's the Planet B remix of Simple and Clean, which is fucking amazing. If you haven't listened to it, listen to it, and you might as well just watch the opening for Kingdom Hearts because it's a banger.
Both are really good. I just like the way she sings that. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that she sings the chorus.
Yes.
The notes she sings, those are like really good. And even though like if you listen to both versions of the song, The bass is different for each one. Like it's more complex than the acoustic version. But I don't know. It just sounds good.
Yeah, I have no idea about the bass or anything. I you talk about the Japanese version of Simple and Clean, right?
No, no.
Oh,
I'm talking
Sanctuary.
about the fast version compared to the slower version. Let's just say it like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe I gotta listen to it and then see the difference. But an uneducated ape like me probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. To be honest with you.
I would put it like this. If you listen to the slower version, the chords go along with the singing.
Yes.
But in the faster version, it's more like I would say sustained. Like the notes don't change as much, at least for the bass and like the instrumental part. That would be the main difference. But I just like that song. It's either because of nostalgia. It's just really catchy.
I think it's an element of both, but I think more so childhood.
But also because Sanctuary is kind of weird. I mean, I like it, but it starts off kind of weird.
It starts off really fast.
No, it doesn't.
Really?
It's just da 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 da. It's just start humming.
If I took your da 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 da, I would have no idea what the fuck kind of song you're talking about. But because I know we're talking about Sanctuary.
She hums and it's really slow. It takes like a good 30 seconds for the actual song to start. And she uses a lot of like reversed vocals. So she'll sing something and then flip the audio.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that what it is? I never knew that. I never knew she flipped the audio for that part.
Yeah, so the parts that make no sense when she's singing, if you flip it, it's just normal.
Oh, I had no idea. I thought that was just like, I don't know what the fuck. You know what? Now that I'm thinking of it, it makes sense that it's reversed. But like, I just consume that music like a fucking mindless idiot, so I never really analyzed it. But
so it's kind of weird like that, but I still like the way she sings it. It's not really a complex song in and of itself, but it still sounds really good.
I was watching a video where for the Japanese, I don't know if this is true. I don't know if I'm butchering the story or not, but she already had the Japanese version of Simple and Clean. I don't remember what it's called. Hikari? Or maybe Hikari. And then when she was asked to do Kingdom Hearts, she's flipping the entire meaning. It's not even the same meaning, it's just the same beat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is weird because if you look in the music video of the Japanese one, she's kind of singing in a kitchen.
Yeah, she is. She's like doing the dishes.
Yeah. And then if you take that and apply it to Kingdom Hearts, where the fucking like 12-year-old boy is killing monsters, doesn't really translate that well.
I also like, I don't know. There's like a bunch of orchestra versions of Simple and Clean. I could listen the shit out of that.
I think they released another Simple and Clean remix for the 2.8 release, Kingdom Hearts 2.8, and I fucking listened the shit out of that.
See, I didn't like that one.
Why not?
I didn't like the little weird voice that plays in the back. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I understand. But I think it's when I first saw it, it was the music on top of the video. And just the video kind of made it more, and then the song just not intensified, but like made the music video more enjoyable. So because I took it as a whole, if I separate it, I can still enjoy it. If you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
So now whenever when I listen to the music, I already have the music video, the trailer in my head.
All right. How would you rate it? And let's add one more. Do you add Dearly Beloved?
Oh my god! Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Hear it. Oh shit.
And explain why you like briefly each one.
Simple and Clean has to be number one by far, just because that was Kingdom Hearts 1, right? And it doesn't really need much explaining. Yeah. I think I have to put Dearly Beloved number 2. There's just something about, it has a kind of like sadness to it.
It's really soft.
It's really soft. It's really calming, but at the same time, it's kind of sad. Sanctuary, I guess. I don't know if you can. Motorcycle driving past me, dickhead. Um, Sanctuary was. I guess I'll put it at number. You know what? Between the third and fourth spot, it's really up in the air with Sanctuary and Don't Think Twice.
Hmm.
I say that just because Sanctuary, it's a pinnacle song because it's Kingdom Hearts 2, but it didn't stick with me the way that Simple and Clean did.
I agree.
It played really well at the ending of the game when Kairi and Sora, like when she pulls him out of the water and it cuts there and they play that music. It was like I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. Maybe because it's that or because it's like really cold in my apartment. But
Let's say it's that.
I'm gonna, to make myself seem less of a loser, I'm gonna say it's just really cold in my apartment and I got goosebumps for a minute.
Okay.
But the use of that song was really good. But if I just listen to it as audio, it was okay. It wasn't like a go-to song for me the way Simple and Clean was. Now that Don't Think Twice has come out, it's I think I would put Don't Think Twice third. Just because Kingdom Hearts 3 is like the closure of the entire series, hopefully, and they don't lead us on to another 13 years of waiting for Kingdom Hearts 4 or whatever.
Hmm.
But because I know that's like the closing of the storyline, and it just kind of has like a sentimental value already to it because it's like these games have been part of our childhood, and now that it's ending, it's kind of more meaningful. And like when parents, they don't make a weird analogy. When parents have like three kids, the first is always loved, the second is kind of like the shittiest one, and then the third one is like the babied one, so everyone loves him too.
Yeah.
It's the same. I'm gonna apply the same lens to that. Now, I'm not saying Sanctuary is a shitty song, but I feel like for that analogy to take place, I'm just gonna put it at 4, just because it's in the middle. It's not big. It's not the beginning of the story. It's not the end of the story. So that's why I'll put Don't Think Twice as the third position, and then Sanctuary as the fourth.
I can respect that. I would definitely say Sanctuary definitely doesn't hold the same place as Simple and Clean.
Yes.
And if you also put in my terms, the number of times I've recorded these songs over the years, I would say it'd be like Simple and Clean and Dearly Beloved. Recorded that multiple times, and fuck the other songs.
Let me say, when I bought Kingdom Hearts, the fucking PS4 game 1.5 plus 2.5, the game where they had like all of the titles in one disc. When you first open up the game, when you first launch it, the song that comes up is Dearly Beloved, and I shit you not, I was like, oh my god, this is a tune I haven't heard in such a long time. And take away me searching it up on YouTube, like, once every 2 years or whatever. But just hearing Dearly Beloved when I launched the game just brought such like a rush of nostalgia. And, it's like, fuck, man. I finally got this game. I'm gonna play it through. I love these people so much. I love Sora so much. Sora's also the name of my dog, so holds even more true. I love Sora so much. I love all these kids. I love Mickey Mouse. I love Goofy and Donald. The game has been collecting dust. It's still sitting within my system. Okay, but that's not the point.
Nice.
That's not the point. It holds a special place, in my heart, just because it was just such like a good game at the time, and just brought back all the memories of me losing to fucking Xemnas.
I can imagine you shedding a tear right now.
Oh shit, yeah. My fucking I don't know if it's being picked up in the microphone right now, but my voice is kind of like they're just like I can rap. No, I can.
Caught in the feels.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's all good.
Now, do you think Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to hold up as a really good ending? Assuming it does end, and then, Square Enix doesn't have us waiting another 10 years.
I hope so. I mean, I feel like my expectations are a bit too high. because I've been waiting too long, you know.
It's been like 13 years.
Yeah, so
I mean, for the avid player who only plays 1 and 2, there have been games in between 1 and 2, and games past 2 that explain the story more, and it continues the journey of Sora and Riku and all that bullshit that happens in between. And I have no idea where I was going with this. Save me. What was I talking? What was I talking about?
let's just move on to different aspects of the game.
Oh, you know what? I'll say this. My hopes is so far low because I've waited so long. When we didn't have a trailer, actually, when they released the first trailer, they didn't even have a release date for it. It just said soon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I don't have high expectations for this game just because they had us waiting for so fucking long. And then they released another one, and it still said like coming soon or 2018. Well, now it's been announced for January 19th. I think January 19th of 2019. And I said I tell David, and it's an ongoing thing where I say I'm going to be on my deathbed before I play Kingdom Hearts 3. And I hope to God I don't get hit by a bus, I don't drown, I don't accidentally drop something in the shower, an electrical device in the shower or bath, okay, trip over a cord. I want to live for another 7 months and then play the game. Okay? Still, standards are really low, and I feel like I have to start off that way because they had me waiting for so fucking long.
I can imagine you playing for like 3 hours and then be like, I don't want to play this anymore.
Well, the reason why I don't play 1 and 2 and all the other stuff is, one,
You played it before.
I've played it before, and I don't want to play like the games in between because I want to do it in chronological order. But because I've already played through 1, it's hard for me to even initiate playing, all 6 games or 7 or 8 games if I incorporate 2.8, which has like fucking 2-3 hour games, 2 hour long games. Yeah. But hopefully with the graphics kind of boosted how I feel about the game, because for me it just looks like such an amazing game already with the graphics. But I'm gonna start off. You know what? I'll just say I'm gonna start off like neutral with the game.
All right.
And hopefully, it ends on a strong point. Maybe fucking Sora and Kairi have little keyblade wielding babies, and Riku gets cucked and watches his 2 best friends make babies while Riku doesn't have anyone. Or you know what? Maybe Sora dies, and I'll probably be really sad about that.
I would hope for the latter, but it's probably the first one.
Now, just, you know what? Let's make predictions. How do you think the game's gonna end? What do you think happens with the 3 main characters?
In classic Disney ways, either they all make it out, or at least Riku doesn't make it.
Now there's this
someone has to make a sacrifice, and it's either Riku or Sora.
Now, I don't want this to be a whole Kingdom Hearts podcast, which it probably will be because we're approaching the 40-minute mark. But since you don't play the other games, and I have watched videos summarizing what the other games are about, they took the Mark of Mastery test, Sora and Riku, because they're both Keyblade wielders.
Okay.
So something happens to Sora on his Mark of Mastery exam, but Riku at the end becomes a Keyblade master. You know how Axel died in 2?
Yes.
He's actually back. So within one of the games, when you destroy a nobody, Axel's a nobody for those who don't know. When you destroy a nobody, they become normal people again. They revert back to their normal forms. So Axel is now a human again, and he decides to train to become a Keyblade master.
Naturally.
Yeah, and Kairi is also a Keyblade wielder now as well. Just so you know. I feel like you should watch the video because it's like a fucking 30-minute video explaining from beginning to currently where the characters
I'll probably
stand.
do it.
It's really enlightening to be honest with you. So
All right.
let's move on to the next topic. Or is there any other games that you saw that was released at E3?
Yes.
Go on.
Kind of.
Go on.
Bethesda.
What
My,
games did they
my
release?
favorite.
Skyrim?
My favorite company. Yes. No joke. They made a joke where they said they're gonna release Skyrim for Amazon Alexa.
What the fuck?
It was like a joke that had like a Key and Peele in it or whatever. But then if you go to the apps for Alexa, there's actually a Skyrim app. So they actually did make it.
It's incredible.
That's amazing.
I love when companies like make inside jokes or whatever. It's incredible.
Because it became a meme and they just took it on themselves.
It was the best thing I can relate that to is the whole thing with Roseanne being a racist.
Yeah.
What medication was she on?
Geez, I don't remember.
Ambien.
Yeah, there
And
you
then
go.
Ambien tweeted out, "Racism's not a side effect." I love when
Yeah,
companies
it's
just
like
play
that.
in. I love when companies play into like memes. Yeah, go on.
But they announced Fallout 75.
76,
Which is-
isn't it 76?
It's one of those. And that's an all online game, so I don't know about that. So instead of having NPCs, it's just other people, and then you can like nuke their settlements and shit. It looks interesting, but I don't feel like I want to play that by myself.
I feel like games that are single player and then they release a new iteration that's all multiplayer, like Skyrim Online. Like, is
I
that
hear that's pretty big
is it?
now.
Oh, I was just under
I think it was voted the largest or the best MMORPG for like the past 3 years.
I had no idea.
Well, that's what they said, but I don't see why they'd lie.
I haven't like I was under the impression that like things don't necessarily translate to like multiplayer. I've never played Fallout, so I don't know how the games work. Maybe their multiplayer is gonna be great, but I'll probably never play it.
I don't know. It might be. It's interesting.
Are you gonna play it?
I don't know. If it's a good game, I might give it a try, but we'll see. They announced another like, you know how they have like Skyrim and Fallout, like those kind of massive single player worlds.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear another fucking motorcycle.
Guy, yeah,
holy
Jesus Christ.
shit, what
Go away.
What the fuck? My apartment's facing street side, so I get to hear all the wonderful noises of motorcycles and trains. It's the worst. But yeah, go
They
on.
announced basically a new world like that, except it's in space, but they gave no details about it. But it's supposed to be like one of their. It's like a new single player game.
Please tell me it's
So I'll probably play that.
please tell me it's Vin Diesel in space.
Nah, chill. But at the end, like the very last second, they teased the Elder Scrolls 6. Don't know what it's called beyond that, but I'm super excited. Dude, the second that played, I was actually watching that bit of it, like live. I just got like chills down my back.
Oh,
You could hear the crowd go nuts.
but I'm a loser that I get goosebumps.
I never said that. You called yourself that. Jesus Christ. Oh, but I'm a loser. The only person calling you that is you.
Hey. I'm under the impression that whenever I nerd out, it's a loser thing to do. So maybe
Most of the time, yeah, but I'd usually say it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Like, fuck, take my money. Jesus Christ.
the fucking
Give me the game.
I don't think there's ever been a game that I felt like, oh, holy shit, take my money. Other than Kingdom Hearts 3. Assuming I'm still alive. I've never felt that way about a game before. Like, fuck you, take my money.
I mean, but yeah, that's you. I don't know.
Is there any?
I felt like that during Skyrim.
Yeah, I
You
can't.
just
I can't
gotta
do
like
Skyrim.
us. I know, because you're boring, but
Isn't it a 100-hour game?
more than that.
Holy shit! I think this was in the last podcast that we cut. We went into rambling discussions about Skyrim, and I mentioned that all I did in that game was punch dragons to death, punch people, and then that was it. Like for me, the game wasn't interesting. I think I put like less than 10 hours into the game.
Yeah, and I mentioned that I played probably like 500 hours plus
Yeah, because
over three different platforms
it would be like Skyrim,
on PS3,
and then
Skyrim on PC,
holy shit.
and then the special edition.
Oh my, like, doesn't that shit get boring for you? Because you're doing the same shit again 3 times.
I mean, not really.
So do you think
If I play back to back, yeah, but I took like a decent amount of breaks.
So
between.
do you think you can play Kingdom Hearts again?
Nah, I don't know. Kingdom Hearts is different because it's pretty linear. Skyrim, you can kind of take whatever path you want.
They have their skill tree is really big. I remember that.
Yeah, there's that, but I don't know.
Has there
It's
been
it's just not the same. It's not the same experience.
has there been any other games at E3?
I think there's a new Halo game, but like,
Oh my god. I thought they were done with Halo.
nah, I guess they keep pumping it out.
Holy shit. Now, this I was actually thinking about this. Why do you think do you think games with like a fuck ton of like titles in their franchise are more memorable than the single shots?
Oh, absolutely not.
So like
I think
I'm referring to
I
like
think
go on.
like one game or one or two games really stand out and make the franchise, and they just keep pumping more shit out. Like in case of Halo, it would be like Halos 1 to 3, especially 3. 3 was fucking huge.
I was under the assumption like Halo 2 was the big one.
Nah, I mean, Halo 1 was good. Halo 2 was pretty big because the online was getting, like, it was like, it had a big community. But Halo 3 was probably the best and biggest.
Oh, I had no idea.
I think I had more players than Call of Duty, at least at a time.
Yeah, at first I thought it was just like the single like one-shot games that were really memorable. But then you brought up a good point of like, the first three are really good. And that brought like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
The three games in the two series that were really good. Let me say Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. What are there any other franchise games that are like good?
You said Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm saying it's fun because of the story and the gameplay, and please extract like the multiplayer aspect to it.
I'd say Far Cry. Far Cry 3 was like the epitome. It was like the best one, at least for me. But then like 4 and now there's 5. It's just regurgitating the same thing.
Can you hear the motorcycle again?
Yeah, that guy
Holy
needs to
sh-
calm
holy
down.
shit.
I feel like it's the same guy.
It's like the same motherfucker going around the block, just revving his engines. Holy shit. I never played Far Cry 3 or 4, but I did do the 5 demo when I was at PAX. And that game seemed pretty interesting, to be honest.
I mean, it has nice graphics and all, but if you played the other ones, it's the same thing. That's what it boils down to.
But I think I still hold true with which I guess you agree with me, is the single shot game. So like Last of Us, Kingdom Hearts, I can't even think of any other single shot games that were memorable. Skyrim, let's say Skyrim.
Well, there's like 3 other ones.
No, but like
that are all...
the Skyrim title to like not the Elder Scrolls Pantheon, but I'm just saying like Skyrim in general.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Skyrim came out, everyone's like, "Oh my god, Skyrim," and I'm just like, "What the fuck is this game?"
So are you saying like single games within the franchise?
Well, like one shots that aren't like, I don't even know how to explain this.
It's pretty hard. I know what you mean though.
Yeah, but like I'm not talking about the Elder Scrolls, like the whole pantheon of Elder Scrolls. I'm just talking about specifically Skyrim. Because I remember when Skyrim came out, it's like, oh my god, Skyrim, and it didn't have a fucking number to it, as opposed to Call of Duty 6, Call of Duty 7, Modern Warfare 5,
Yeah.
Battlefield 2026.
No, I agree. What else? Red Dead Redemption.
I didn't play Red Dead, but I heard it was really good.
That was fun at the time.
I heard they're coming out with a Red Dead 2.
They are, and it looks pretty interesting.
I don't know nothing about it. I'm assuming it's his son.
I actually don't know, because you play his son at the end after he gets shot to death.
Yeah.
So,
GTA games, before they start, like, we have that one GTA game that we all played, and then it got kind of ridiculous. So I guess that doesn't really count.
I mean, the thing about GTA is like, even though I got bored after San Andreas, there's still a lot of people like who play the like online aspects of it and keep the game going.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm thinking about it, I have not played a lot of video games because I can't think of any single shot games that were like memorable, or at least had an impactful were impactful to our gaming memories.
Maybe you just can't remember him. I can't remember like half the...
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was, if I stay on like the last podcast or whatever, it was like Mario 64, one shot. Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, one shot. That was really good. I fucking love that game. I played it to completion. Jesus Christ. I have so many games, and yet I can't remember a single one. But you know what? I stand by my fucking statement. The big franchise games aren't as memorable. Maybe it's because we've lived too long to see these franchises get pumped out, and we don't even give a shit about them anymore.
I think it's honestly they're just not making them any better, and it's just the same thing. Like you can say that like Uncharted, all of them are pretty good. All of them are good, even though they have 4 of them, and it's the same thing over again. They just make it
Yeah, yeah.
so that each.
I think it's weird that you say Fallout up until 4 is really like they've only had 4, but they all seem really good. Meanwhile, Assassin's Creed, I feel like Assassin's Creed is still going strong because
I don't know about that.
well, 4 sucked. I know 4 sucked because I played it.
I would say 2 was their like high point.
Yes.
Didn't play 3. I played like the ones after 2. I played the one where it's in Turkey. That was like that's when I knew.
Oh,
I'm
Revelations.
Like, Revelation. I'm like this is the same thing as 2.
Yeah.
It's not any fun.
I don't think they implemented anything new because you already had the Brotherhood system. So it's like you're not really interested other than graphics.
4. I played 4 for like what 3, like 20 minutes.
Yeah, me too. Then they came out with like Unity, Syndicate. Unity was like a co-op game. I don't even know if they had like a single player story mode. Syndicate was based on England, the Industrial Revolution or some shit.
See, you're naming these. I don't even know they exist.
Yeah, see? I'm just trying to keep up with the fucking times here. I don't know if there was one after Oh, there was like Rogue, where you're like...
But don't you think it's because they keep pumping it like year after year? Or like once every 2 years? They just keep pumping out the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, look at like the Elder Scrolls. It's been between 3 and 4. It's been 3 years. Between 4 and 5, it's been what, like 6 years?
Yeah.
And then now it's gonna be like 10 plus years between 5 and 6.
Yeah, I think that maybe that's why Elder Scrolls has sustained itself. Meanwhile, Assassin's Creed or any company that pumps out a franchise every year, like they pump out Call of Duties every single year. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't play that shit. Like now I see it. It's like they're in space and they have like fucking jump packs and shit. I'm like that ain't Call of Duty.
I feel like to make a really good game, you need that much time nowadays.
Yes. So I expect Kingdom Hearts 3 to fucking make me like come in my pants or something, or make me cry and sob. Okay.
You think?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think Kingdom Hearts 3 was always in the plans, or it's just like they saw a demand for it at some point and decided to remake it, or greenlight it?
I think it was always in the works, but I think because they also pumped out fucking Final Fantasy VII remake, maybe it pushed out Kingdom Hearts. Because I think there was a time where nobody was touching Kingdom Hearts 3 because they were just pumping out other titles.
I mean, I guess if you look at like Max Payne 3 though, which like it came out years after, but it didn't live up to what the old games used to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that like, I guess this goes against what we're saying, but games that take a long time to make doesn't necessarily hold up.
The crazy thing is they pumped like $100 million into that game.
I wonder how much they net.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, but going back to the Assassin's Creed thing, they released Origins. Was it last year?
Mm-hmm.
I heard Origins was really good.
I think that kind of like revitalized the franchise.
Yeah. And now, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about the new Assassin's Creed. I don't know if you saw the trailer for it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so it's based in ancient Greece. You're essentially a Spartan, and now you can have the choice between a male or a female character.
Oh,
I don't know if they implemented that system in other games, but now it's here. And
I don't think so.
now you can also have you can also change I guess the kind of path your assassins take. So like if someone asks you, oh, what happened to this person, and like a drop down menu comes up and you can say like I killed him, or you can lie and say like I saved him, and that aspect of like maybe it's like a karma system with what fucking game is that, the guy who controls electricity?
Infamous.
Yeah, I think they could be doing that, like a kind of karma system for that.
I would say the things that I liked about the first 3 though, it was kind of like historically accurate.
Yes.
Like the people you assassinated actually died around that era.
I don't know what we're talking about because I took an intermittent break to go buy some food. So I think we were talking about Assassin's Creed, but
I don't remember.
Yeah. I just kind of wanted to wrap up this episode or whatnot. But what do you think is the future of video games? It's a broad question, but it's open for interpretation or any way you want to go.
Um, dude, I really don't know. Probably VR.
Do you think
Just
okay, so go I guess we're going back to the AR VR thing. Do you think okay, if we do transition to VR, do you think it's going to be a lasting thing? Like
yeah, I think so.
in terms of like how we consume our video games. So like do you consider VR to be an accessory or console at the
I
well, cuz right now it's an accessory, right? But do you believe that all video gaming is going to shift to VR?
Nah, I don't think so.
For me, I think there's something about like the tactile feel, like just having a controller in your hand or having a
Yeah, or
keyboard.
a mouse. Yeah,
Yeah, granted, you have the controller for the Oculus Rift or Vive or whatever the fuck, but for me, either we go in the way of Sword Art or we don't, and VR fails terribly.
I don't think we'll go down Sword Art anytime soon. But yeah, I think it's gonna end up being like a market for regular old games, and then I think VR is gonna be good enough to the point where it's gonna be competitive with regular video games.
What do you think okay, if VR is the future of video games, how do you think we're going to, do you think it's going to be like a Ready Player One-esque VR system? Like like what do you predict how like the form of VR? You think we're gonna have like an ocular headset along with two controllers or
Nah, I think they'll move to like some kind of Ready Player One kind of thing.
not like so in Ready Player One I can't remember because I watched the movie not too long ago. Was it motion capture as well?
I don't remember.
Because I know for like in the movie, I don't know about the book. I know in the movie he like built up enough points and then he bought himself a suit that
Yeah,
but for like the average consumer, like how the fuck did they move, you know?
I don't know. I feel like there'd be like some special equipment for like first person shooters and whatnot.
So
Because it's like, it's kind of difficult to imagine you holding a gun with those stupid little things in your hand.
so are we I don't know cuz right now we have like the Kinect and whatever PlayStation have, I can't remember what it was. The Wii U sensor thing. You know what? Those are all controller based as well because they sense the movement on the controller.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's actually hard to tell in terms of having a camera. Um, I think the closest thing we had was the You remember that fucking PlayStation 2 iToy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where they like had the your hands free, no controller, and then you would like move your hands in whatever orientation for that button that you see on the screen. And that's the only interpretation or the only instance of a camera registering your actions without having a controller. So maybe we bring back the PlayStation iToy.
No.
Because
Go back.
at what point are we going to stop using controllers though?
I don't think we will, to be honest.
Unless
Is
we're talking about like a X-Men Danger Room kind of room that like materializes things that simulates gaming, but that's like
Dude,
way in the
no one's
future.
gonna have that in their house.
This is true. This is true. Which is why maybe like a Sword Art-esque thing is the way to go.
I honestly think it's just gonna be graphics and like game mechanics are just gonna keep on improving. Well, you're still gonna use a mouse or a controller.
How long do you think a mouse and a keyboard is gonna last though, or a
think-
console?
I think a long time.
Because to be fair, the progression of technology is it's just so fast. You know, if you go 10 years back in the past, we're using PlayStation 3s. Backstep 10 years from that, we're using PlayStation 2s. No, PlayStation 1s, because that was like 90, 98. And then before that, we're fucking using Atari controllers. You know,
So yeah, I mean like it's been the same. The
I-
hardware's improved.
hardware's improved and now we're introducing VR, but at what point do you think we're going to stop using, you know, the keyboard or the controller? At what point do you think give like a time frame on like how
I
far into
think-
the future do you think we're going to drop it and go completely virtual, or if virtual is the way to go in general?
I think if virtual gets to a point where it can be played competitively and accurately like that well, then that's when you might see controllers phase out or like mouses.
Because you also have to like think VR has to be accessible to everybody, which it kind of
Mhm.
is. It's kind of really expensive. It's like what, $500 for a system.
Yeah.
But you also have to think about like the space too. Because if we're not talking like you lay on your couch and put a headset on esque type of VR system, and we're talking about we're still using our bodies. We're still, whether or not the controller is still existing or not, we're still moving our bodies, right?
Mhm.
So now we all incorporating the cosmic treadmill somewhere in our house.
The cosmic treadmill.
That was a quick flash reference for those who don't know. It's a treadmill he runs on to break the time barrier and save his mom. But I mean, right now, all we have is like those non-slip floors or like those fucking omnidirectional treadmills. But I mean, like, to think that to make VR accessible, like to make it competitive, right? You're gonna have to
Mhm.
you're gonna have to move. But I mean, I don't know how to phrase this. Like, for people to get better at VR, you have to spend hours and hours and hours and hours. And my dog toy's going off again. And how do I phrase this? At some point, like, I feel like you're gonna have one dedicated spot in your house for specifically VR. And let's talk about FPS shooters. And we do away with the controllers. Now you're gonna have to be moving.
Mhm.
And if we do go in the way of omnidirectional treadmills or the non-slip floors or the slippery floors. So is every house going to have a little VR station? Assuming everyone's an avid gamer, do you think that everyone's going to have like a fucking VR station?
I guess the people who want it.
I think
I
like
mean-
the price of gaming itself is already shooting up.
I mean, if it gets to the point where it actually becomes that popular, then I guess so. But like right now, think of it like, what would you rather have? At least for me, it would be like, would you, if you were getting like a new computer, would you get a nice VR headset or new graphics card?
I mean, new graphics card, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, for me, I already said, like, I don't even feel like VR is where it should be at for me to try it. And actually, I take it back. I have tried VR once at PAX, and it was like a shitty, like, RTS thing where, like, I wasn't, obviously, it was like I had to reach out to press a button. And I was kind of like, I don't want to look stupid because, you know, like when sometimes like people do stupid stuff with VR because they're not used to like actually reaching out, and like it's like when people had Wii U controllers and they were playing baseball or whatever, and they throw the fucking controller at the TV and break it.
Mhm.
Like I was afraid something like that was gonna happen, so I wasn't reaching far enough because God forbid I grab on like someone's dick or something. But
That's how they get you.
That's how they.
You'll press the button a
Press
little lower. There we go.
But when I actually get into VR, the way I already do PC gaming or was with PS4 gaming, I want it to be at its peak. Not this bullshit. Me stand in one spot and cameras looking at me from all directions, and me using these fucking like dildo-esque controllers and potentially touching a penis.
Yeah. I mean, it also comes down to like, do you really want to move around like that, or do you just want to sit down and look at a screen, relax?
I think, okay, now it goes back to preference, I guess. I think it all depends on the gamer. I think, you know, if maybe there will be a set of VR where, you know, you can have physical exercise, you know, or the other kind of VR where you just lay down. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think at some point I want the controls to go away.
Nah, I don't. Call me old fashioned, dude. I'll be playing by that time. I'll be playing like on a 32K.
Also, what I want to see in VR is I don't want to see computer generated images. I don't want to see CGI. I want like, if let's say I put a VR headset on, I want to see what I would see in real life.
Yeah, that's hard.
Because if I'm gonna go into a different reality, I want to see it how I see do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see it as so. With going back to like the whole Norman Reedus thing, that's right now I feel like is the greatest use of CGI to make it look lifelike. So maybe 50 years or 20 to 50 years, maybe the CGI gets so great I won't even be able to distinguish it between real life.
Maybe.
That's what I want.
I don't know if we'll have something like that. You'll need like a quantum computer to like really handle that kind of workload.
You have to put full graphics card into your shitty PC, run it all night, 256 gigs of RAM just to render all that images.
Yeah. That, I don't know if that would be possible
So right now it just seems
in a
really
home
expensive.
setting.
I don't know. There's a lot of things that weren't possible in a home setting. If we go back to like what the 60s, where a computer could fit in the set, like an entire computer with 12 megabytes of space fit in an entire room. But now it's like, you can put that shit in a laptop. So
True, but I feel like with the things we know now, like you need some really hardcore tech. It's all about what it comes down to is CPU cooling. Like imagine having a CPU that can handle all that workload.
I
But
predict
it needs to be at like sub-zero temperatures.
I predict we leave liquid cooling and we just plug our CPUs on the roofs of our house. So it's air cooled. Maximum efficiency. You get all the wind. Get all the wind. If it gets dusty, you have the water wash it off,
Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah, exactly.
Smart one here. Science alert.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm feeling this. It was a spur of the moment idea, but I'm feeling CPUs on houses. I'm predicting. I don't even know if this applies Moore's law, where everything doubles every few years.
Yeah, I think that's reaching like a limit, a little like a wall.
I don't know. I'm thinking, and like in the next 10 years, you know what? We'll skip computers. We'll skip gaming entirely and just leave the planet.
Dude, you can leave the planet. Be my guest. I'm not leaving the planet.
What would you think about us terraforming other planets and going to them? Like, okay, let's say you want to play FPS, you go to an FPS-esque planet. Let's take this totally out of context and assume that gaming runs the entire world.
Okay.
200, 300 years into the future, will we terraform planets to look like video games?
Do you really think we're going to be there in 200-300 years?
We aren't. Maybe the people are.
No, like people. That's what I mean by we, humans. Because we're going to run out of gasoline soon.
Well, it's hard to say. We're definitely going to go towards nuclear power. Nuclear-powered engines. Okay, so right now they use gasoline. Hundreds and hundreds of pounds of gasoline. Where probably, I think people were talking about like nuclear engines or whatever the fuck, right? But if we're talking, that's right now. If we're talking 200 to 300 years from now, I'm thinking like magnetic propulsion. So there'd be no need for
magnetic propulsion to the moon.
Yes, to the moon. You lock onto the next planet that has a rocky surface and you just pull yourself towards it. That's probably not magnetic propulsion, but you know what I'm talking about.
I guess, but I don't know.
Now we're talking about the future of space travel.
Dude, planets aren't exactly close by.
Well, maybe in 200-300 years, you know what? Maybe we'll invent a hyperdrive and go light speed.
Do you think our bodies can handle that?
Light speed?
Yeah,
I think if a farmer boy from Tatooine can handle light speed, I think we can all handle light speed.
Shut the fuck up. You just like splat onto the back of the ship or something.
You know, I'm going to predict that we have impact dampeners in the next 200 years. So space travel would be viable. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
We went from the future of video games.
You should just cut your head off and then freeze it. And then 200-300 years when they can like put your body on a machine.
I just imagine Mr. Freeze from Batman or Futurama.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Dude, and then 300 years from now, you could be like, I proved David wrong. Too bad he died 200 years ago.
That'd be totally useless then. Everyone I know would be dead. What's the point?
Yo, who do you think would actually do that? Just like prove a point?
Just
fucking freeze their head.
I would say Donald Trump to be one. Okay, not even getting political or anything, but he just seems like the guy who wants to put his dick on the table for no reason. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. What about you?
You?
Really?
I don't. I think. Jeez, who's that? Like annoying someone who has to prove a point.
It sounds like me.
It does sound like you.
Yeah. You know what?
I think you'd be happy with just dying.
Probably. Who the fuck? All right, let's be honest. For all the listeners, if you're still listening, would you put your head into fucking deep freeze for 200 years to see what's changed and to prove a point? That just seems so far-fetched.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just die.
Yeah, probably.
Just turn into dirt.
And this is why we're having this podcast, so we can wonder about the future of shit, so we don't have to fucking live that long, okay? We went from the future of video games to space travel to freezing your head And on the way there, we mentioned VR dick grabbing, proving a point, and I can't think of any absurd thing we talked about during this entire segment.
Honestly, I think that would become an epidemic.
If what?
When
pulling?
like VR becomes so big, everyone just goes to like some spot. They put on headsets. Some guy starts checking you off. You look, you take off your headset. You look, it's only your friends.
Oh my god! What the?
I'm calling now. We're gonna need some laws, some protection.
Shit. Oh my god! I thought you were gonna go that common theory where like we're already in a matrix.
Nah, fuck that.
Or like aliens have progressed so far into like VR, they decide not to fucking do space travel and they just live in their own reality. But you took it like 180 degrees and, you know, added a dick to it. That's fucking... That I was not expecting a penis and friends pulling that penis.
Real quick then.
What?
Like you're talking about the future of technology.
Yes.
And all that stuff.
Yes.
Think about all the planets that are older than the Earth, but have like, you know, like the same kind of like situation, like the same distance from the sun or whatever, that can support life.
Okay.
Think about if evolution is true, there should be advanced human or like advanced life forms there.
Yes.
How come they haven't contacted us or whatever?
I'm going to assume the way of the multiverse where things could be exactly like Earth, but slightly different. So yeah, they could be living in the year, you know, they could have space Jesus. They could have, you know, their own.
Or maybe they're watching us now.
Maybe they're watching us now, but we're too busy talking and podcasting to even look up. There could be a giant penis floating in the sky and that could be their flagship, but we'd be too dumb to notice. Okay.
Giant penis spaceship.
Yes.
Just one day it comes down to head first right into our planet. Just crashing inside of it.
You know that crater that killed the dinosaurs?
Yeah.
The penis lands right into the crater.
Yeah, exactly. It lands like that, and then out of the tip comes their life forms.
It's just like white blobs of shit. Oh my.
Yeah, and it starts eating us.
We're just eaten by semen. Oh my god. This is like becoming hypothetical story time. I'm gonna put.
Dude, that's how I want to die.
Eaten by space semen. This fuck. Okay. If the reason why they haven't contacted us, all right, is maybe that they have a different outlook of life. Maybe maybe they've had space Jesus, maybe they've had space democracy or whatever the fuck. But who's to say that they're also wondering what's out there?
Could also be because they're light years away and kind of takes a long time.
We're also assuming that life could have happened that life was sparked at the same time as humans. So let's take this example. They just got dinosaurs. We had dinosaurs 10,000 years ago or whatever. So maybe we're just off sync and nobody's looking. Or maybe they just restarted life again. Who knows? Maybe they got pelted by a giant penis in space.
Yeah, maybe they got the penis by a different planet.
Maybe
by the one over.
Maybe the space semen ate their planet. And that was our closest neighbor. But we can't find them because they're all dead. You never know.
That's probably it.
I want this to be a movie. Attacked by space semen. And it could be like a fucking Planet of the Apes 1960s looking fucking film, and I'd go see that shit.
You know, actually, I changed my mind. I want to be the one crushed by the giant penis spaceship. Just have it like fall on my house.
you could be like fucking Cleveland from Family Guy, and then like the shit crashes to his house. Or you can be like that fucking guy from The Simpsons. I just imagine you being that guy from The Simpsons that just go, "Hi everybody," and then you get crushed. Just go out in the most comedic way. Now, would you get crushed because you don't want to see the space semen?
Well, I mean, I think it'd be worse to be eaten by space semen, for one, and it'd also be kind of funny just completely annihilated and smashed.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want to see?
Or in other words, penetrated by a giant penis spaceship.
But wouldn't you want to see Wouldn't you want to see what the space semen does to the human race?
Are we assuming we don't know?
We're just going to assume that they don't know that they're phallic objects and that they look like space semen. Don't you want to know what happens?
No. I can't imagine it ending well. They're like telepaths, like everyone's thinking these things look like semen. They get offended and then genocide happens.
Now, I think this brings up a interesting point. I was listening to some fucking other podcast. It was like fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson was quoting Stephen Hawking, and he says that the more technological group kills the less technological. And then Neil deGrasse Tyson says that's kind of that, you don't know that because now we're applying a human lens onto an unhuman species.
That's true.
So now maybe the space seamen, all they want to do is cuddle with us. But just going back to it, I think it's a long stretch. Serious no, I think it's a long stretch to say that aliens would only want warfare. Was that safe to say?
That's fair.
right.
Do you want to wrap this up?
Yes.
How about we talk about just quickly mention some what's in our future?
What's in our future? Well, the future is hopefully fucking more podcasting, because we've been trying to get on a schedule of a Sunday, Wednesday recording time. We're actually recording on a Wednesday as we speak. So who knows if we're going to keep this up? Who knows if we're going to get guests? We might have the gun crazy redneck David described in the beginning of this podcast. Who knows if Billy is actually going to be on this podcast? Find out next time on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Who fucking knows? Okay, he might be playing Fortnite. He could be with his girlfriend. He could be at the gym.
He could be at home watching anime.
He could, you know what? He could just be sleeping the entire time and not tell us that he's going to sleep, and we'll just be waiting for his response, because he'll be like, "Oh, I forgot."
Dude, that's happened before. I'm like,
"Oh my
dude,
God.
let's play League." He's like, "All right, I'm be on in an hour." I keep waiting. He messages me like at 1 a.m. He's like, "Oh shit, I fell asleep."
Yeah, see, so he does this.
That's the caliber of human we're dealing with. I want to do I wouldn't call it a music. Let's say a music episode.
A music episode.
Yeah.
Where we talk about the culture of music and the evolution of music.
We can do that. We can talk about from your perspective of understanding music, and my perspective as someone who plays and has a higher understanding.
But anyway, we'll try to bring in some guests, try to bring in some new voices, because fuck, this is episode 3 and it's only been me and David so far. So, I anticipate when Billy comes on, we're just going to just take a massive dump on him. So you can also, you guys listening at home or at work or wherever you're at, you can also imagine us taking a big dump on Billy, just because there's just a lot to take a dump on. Just a lot.
Yep. Well, it's going to be mostly you. I try not to be mean to him.
Oh no, he deserves it.
He does deserve it, but
he does deserve it. I feel like it's my place to show him why he's wrong and why he should just stop talking.
Why he should kill himself.
I never
Don't
say
that. Yeah.
I always just ask him if his girlfriend's still with you, is still with him, and why she's still with him, and how she, deals with his specialness. Because I certainly can't.
Yeah.
We could talk. We could potentially bring PP on here.
We could
talk about lifting weights. Lifting weights was good.
I'm thinking we should try. I was bringing people into one area. Maybe that would be easier. On a Sunday.
Okay, let's describe this setup. We have a Discord running. I have my audio track running. David has his audio track running, and then we sync it all up. So our audio quality is totally different. And with us trying to bring guests in, I don't know how to fucking do that.
That's like a wild card, because me and Jeremy have decent setups and like decent internet, but everyone else, they could be running through like a Mac, like a laptop. You could just be hearing their fan, or their internet's pretty shit or something.
You know what? I hate to bring this back to Billy, but I'm going to imagine him being on this podcast, being in the Discord call, and this motherfucker's not going to use headphones. You're going to hear his mom in the background. Yeah. And his mom likes to vacuum a lot.
I know we say vacuum. It's really a hairdryer.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I just assumed she was vacuuming all the fucking time.
At 11 at night.
Yes.
These floors are dirty.
Like, Billy, why is your mom vacuuming for the 4th day in a row? Oh, shit. My life has been a lie.
He always says she's not vacuuming.
This is why I never listen to him. This is why I don't know.
Oh God.
Oh my god, I'm tearing up.
But yeah, I was talking to Anchong and he kept cutting out. So
Yeah, so I'm going to make the assumption that these people have like Logitech headsets with the shitty mics, or people don't, use the onboard microphone. So I kind of want to get like a everyone on a uniform quality if possible.
all right.
So we're signing off now.
Yeah.
All right. So if anyone has any questions, concerns, comments, if you want, again, we didn't get any emails, but if you want to ask David once again, how do you wipe your ass? David will hit you with the hard facts. And if you want to ask us how we deal with a special ed friend, feel free to ask us. All right. The email is thebreatheeasypodcast@gmail.com. And you know what? Email us, say hi, tell us you hate us, tell us you like us. Doesn't matter. Just send us something. Just no dick pics or anything. And I've been Jeremy.
This is David.
Bye.
Yep.
Yup. Good way to end.
Bye.